Yo, what's going on guys? Arekkz here, welcome back to another Division 2 video, and today we are talking about weapons. While the game is still a while away yet, that doesn't mean to say there isn't new stuff to talk about. Just the other day, Ubisoft updated the official website with the first in a series of Intelligence Annexes that they plan to release, speaking in greater detail about various aspects of the game. And the very first one is on weapons. Some of the information you may know already from developer interviews and E3 coverage, but some of it was new. We got information on a new weapon archetype, a bit more insight into the development behind exotics and how they'll stand out more in the Division 2, as well as a clearer understanding as to how their specializations will affect our wider game loadouts. So in this video, we're going to go over everything you need to know. So if you do enjoy this and you do find it helpful, then a like would be super appreciated, and be sure to comment down below and let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything else you're keen to know a lot more about. Now, let's start with the new weapon type. If you played the Division 1 before, then you'll likely be pretty familiar with the existing archetypes. Assault rifles, marksman rifles, submachine guns, shotguns, light machine guns, and pistols. But the Division 2 is adding one more to the mix, and that is rifles. Now, you're probably thinking, well, how do these differ from assault rifles and marksman rifles? And more importantly, why another rifle class? Well, first up, this new class of rifle is designed to be the home for all semi-automatic and burst fire rifle types. And one of the main reasons they split them out like this are for balancing. In the Division 1, the many different rifles fell under one of those two categories, assault or marksman, but in the Division 2, this third category allows them to create some more bespoke and specific bonuses for semi-auto and burst fire type rifles, as well as the other weapons on top. Were they all to remain grouped as they had done previously, then naturally that somewhat limits what they can do and should do with certain rifles, since the nature of the rifle will naturally result in different behaviours. So by adding this third category, it ultimately gives the team more options. Their ambition behind this is to then create a much larger pool of equally viable weapons, giving you far more options to choose from. And as someone that quite enjoys using burst fire weapons, I'm certainly interested to see what these new changes bring to the table. However, moving on from there to speak briefly about exotics, naturally right now they're still keeping some of this close to their chests, since exotics tend to be pretty exciting, so they're likely keeping a fair few of them a surprise. But what they did say is that in the Division 2, the team really wanted exotic weapons to be even more exciting than before, so they've been putting a lot of effort into each and every one. From an art perspective, the exotic weapons will stand out far more than ever before. Each weapon will have its own unique look and be clearly distinguishable from the broader weapon arsenal, which is something the Division 1 really lacked. Sure, there were a few unique looking exotics, but a lot of the time they didn't look vastly different to some of the other offerings. But when you're walking around with something known as an exotic weapon, you sure as hell want people to notice. They're also making it so that every visual element of the weapon tells a story about the theme, and all of this will then be connected to the wider weapon lore. So each exotic will have its place in the world, and hopefully this will then result in them being far more appealing and alluring than before. Then moving on from there to speak about grenades. Grenades in the Division 2 are going to work quite differently than they did in number 1. Gone are the days of the grenade wheels and the ability to throw off 6 different types of grenades to shock, burn, stun and explode your opponents. In the Division 2, when you start the game, you'll just have one grenade type, the concussion grenade. This will be the only one available to you for the initial leveling experience from levels 1 to 29. That'll be the only thing that you can use. Once you hit level 30, of course you know that this is when you unlock your specializations, and at this point, not only do you unlock your special weapon and some of these specialization specific perks, but you also unlock another grenade type. Different types of grenades are linked to the different specializations and you cannot swap them between. So the sharpshooter, the one with the 50 cal, will have a flashbang grenade. The demolitionist, your grenade launcher dude, will have the incendiary grenade. Meanwhile the survivalist, the explosive crossbow class, will have the frag grenade. Anytime you switch specialization, because remember you're not bound to just one, but anytime you switch, your grenades will switch too. However, you will still maintain access to the original concussion grenade at all times. The idea behind this is to ensure that grenades are still powerful and can provide you great value when used at the right time, but it also limits their utility so they're not something that people just spam in waves and waves whilst neglecting their firearms. This should then place greater emphasis on your overall build, your loadouts and your strategy, and make for far more interesting gameplay all round. Now, outside of that, the blog post went on to talk about mods and how they've changed and they're now items that you unlock instead of looting, but I've gone over that in greater detail in a previous video already, and it also spoke about weapon talents and how they too will be changing in game, again something else I've covered already. So if you want to know more about those, then I'll link the relevant videos down below. But otherwise, that is pretty much it for the time being. Be sure to keep it locked, as I'll be covering all the latest news from now until the launch of the game, so if you don't want to miss anything, then be sure to stick around. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to check out some more awesome stuff from us here at Arekkz Gaming, then you should definitely try to catch 269 and Paradise Central streaming 6 days a week. You can find a link to the multi-stream in the description box down below. They play a wide range of games, and what's more, we also have the Endgame store. By watching their streams, you earn currency, and you can redeem that currency on the Endgame store for really cool prizes. Those can range from things like games, comics, and figures, all the way up to controllers, capture cards, and even consoles. So definitely drop by and become part of the community. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure you're subscribed and be sure to click on that little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss our next upload. You can watch more videos by clicking on the options here, but once again, thanks very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.